Hello everyone, let's have some discussion on lossy and lossless decomposition in database management system. So before knowing about what is lossy and lossless decomposition in database management system, let's have some idea about what is basically decomposition. We have to just answer these 4 questions after watching this video. What is basically decomposition and what must be ensured while doing decomposition in database management system, and why it is required, and finally how to find lossy and lossless decomposition in database management system. So decomposition is basically splitting a single relation into more than 2 relations. For example, this is a relation R. It has attribute A, B, C. It has split it in 2 parts, R1 and R2. R1 has attribute A and B. R2 has attribute B and C. When we combine these 2 splitted relation into a new relation R dash, then R and R dash should be equals for having lossy decomposition. If some attributes are missing in a combined recovered relation, for example, this one is the recovered one and this one is the decomposed one relation. After recovering R dash, it should be equals to R. It means all the attributes of R and R dash should be equal. So, why we require actually decomposition? So, for having decomposition, before why it is required, we must ensure what are the parameters that we should ensure while doing decomposition. The first parameter is attribute preservation. What does it mean? For example, R is the original relation. It has attribute A, B and C. And we have split it into 2 parts, R1 and R2. So, all the attributes of the original relation must be contained into the splitted one. Here we have splitted R1 and R2. R1 has attribute A and B and R2 has B and C. So in this case we are observing that R1 and R2 are preserving the attributes of the original relation. A, B and C are the attributes of the original relation. The second one is dependency preservation. Let's have a functional dependency of the original relation F. A tends to B, B tends to C. What A tends to B decides? Here A is the dependent one. Sorry, in this case A is determinant and B is the dependent. So B is dependent on A. Here A derives B and B derives C. And in decomposed relation R1 and R2, if we will discover the functional dependency of R1, so we can make FDs of R1 as A tends to B, B tends to A. In this case F1, we are obtaining functional dependency A tends to B of original relation. In case of F2, the functional dependency of R2 is as like this: B tends to C, C tends to B. In this case also, we are preserving the original functional dependency B tends to C of original relation R. So this is the second parameter or factors we can say that we must ensure while doing decomposition. The third one is the lossless and lossy decomposition that we will discuss in the coming example. Now the third question is why decomposition is required. So the 3 things we can obtain while having decomposition of a relation in database management system. The first one is redundancy can be reduced. Second one is data independence can be maintained while decomposing or while splitting a single relation into more than 2 relations. And along with these 2 properties, anomalies also can be reduced while doing decomposition. What are the basic anomalies in the database management system? Update, insert and delete anomalies. These 3 parameters are very, very required in case of a normalization that we can achieve with the help of decomposition. So let's take an example of how we can do lossy and lossless decomposition. Let's take an example to understand how we can find whether the decomposition is lossy or lossless. As in the previous case I have discussed, there are the 2 methods for finding lossy and lossless decomposition. The first one is when the data is given. In this case I have taken example, the original relation is A, B and C and decomposed one is R1 and R2. we have to find whether this decomposed relation or the splitted relation R1 and R2 are decomposed or lossless or lossy. For that purpose, we are having 4 conditions. The first condition for lossless decomposition is when we will take R1 natural join R2, it should be equals to R. And then in case of deciding whether the decomposition is lossy or lossless, we always take natural join of the splitted relation that is splitted in 2 or more than 2 relation. Why we take natural join? Because natural join is not dependent, it is not considering the comparison operator. We can have combined relation of splitted relation on the basis of common attribute, and also it is very easy to calculate. So this is the condition for finding lossless decomposition. For lossy, R1 natural join R2 should be subset of R. R1 natural join R2 should be superset of R, or we can have R1 natural join R2 should be equals to phi. These are the 3 conditions for the lossless. Why it is lossless? Because we are not in these 3 conditions, we are not getting the original relation when we are finding the natural join. In each and every case, here in the first case we are having the subset of R. It means there is some attributes, extra attributes we are finding in the natural join. In the second case, R1 natural join R2 is the superset of R. It is also having extra attribute. It means that after combining the splitted relation, the resultant relations we are obtaining, it has lost some attributes. And also the third case, when we will find natural join of R1 and R2, it should not be equals to phi. So these are the conditions for finding the lossless join, and this is for finding lossy. Okay. So let's take an example. This example, let's calculate lossy and lossless by taking this example. Here the table for R1, for R, the table is given as like this, and for R1 we can find out the table by considering first 2 attributes of the original relation. So the table for R1 is like this, and similarly the table for R2 is like this. So when we will find R1 natural join R2, how we will find natural join of R1 and R2? In this case, in these 2 cases, R1 and R2, the common attribute in both the splitted relation is B. Here also R1, B is similar to R2, first attribute of R2. So for finding the natural join, we will just take the first row of R1 and compare with the first row of R2. It is matching with the first attribute of R1. R1 first, second attribute is matching with the first attribute of R2. So we will write like this, and corresponding to B, here in the first column of R1 is A. So we will put A here, and corresponding to B, the second column of R2 is having C. So we will put C here. In second row also we will compare B. B is matching with this B. So we will write B as it is, and corresponding entries for C and A will be right of the first row. So it will be A and A. Now B will be compared with the third row of R1, R2, and it is similar to this B. So we will write B here, and corresponding entries of C will be write down like this, and the corresponding entries for the B will be write down like this. So in this case we will find R1 natural join R2 of first row of R1 with all the rows of R2. For in the next case, again this V will be compared with the first row of R2, second row of R2, and the third row of R2, and this B is matching with the all these rows of R2. So we will put B here, and the corresponding entries of B will be write down here. And for that B, when we will compare this B with this B, we will be having C for the third column. For the next, we are having A, and here we are having A. In this way, we will fill all the entries for the table, and the table will be like this. Again, the third row of R1 will be compared with each and every row of R2, and it is matching sorry, the example is like this. It is matching with each and every row of R2. So example will be like this. This we will be compared with this, and the corresponding entries of C and A will be write down like this. So here we are observing that R1 natural join R2 is not similar to the original relations table R. So in this case we are getting extra attributes, but the original table is having only 3 rows. So it means the decomposition is lost here, because we are getting the case of this. R1 natural join R2 is the superset of R. This is the superset of R. Here we are getting 9 number of rows, but in case of our original relation we are having only 3 rows. It means the relationship is, the decomposed relationship is lossy. So when we will take this case, when we will change the decomposed relation as R1AB and R2AC. In this case, when we will do natural join of R1 and R2, in this case, when this B will be compared with, in this case, the common row is the first column. First column of R1 is matching with the first column of R2. So in this case, the mapping will be done by the first column of R1 with the first column of R2. In this case, A is matched with A. So we will put A here, and the corresponding entries of B and C will be write down like this. Now, second time we will compare this A with this A. It is matching. So in this case, all the entries will be like the original table. As I have explained in this example how we have calculated R1 natural join R2, by using that method when we will consider natural join of R1 and R2 by taking this splitted relation, we will get the original table. So in this case, R1 natural join R2 is equals to R. So here the decomposed relation is lossless. So in the next slide, I'll explain the second method of finding lossy and lossless decomposition when the data is not given. We are having only functional dependency. In that case, how we will find whether the decomposed relation is lossy or lossless. This is the second case when the data is not given in the form of tabular form, but here the functional dependency of the original relation is given. The original relation R has 4 attributes A, B, C, D. It has splitted in 3 parts, R1, R2, R3. R1 has attribute AB, R2 has BC, and R3 has CD. So in this case, how we can find out whether this splitted relation is lossy or lossless? For that purpose, we are having 3 steps. So in the first step, we will write down the data in the form of a matrix or in the tabular form. How we will prepare the table? Here, the column of the table will represent attribute of the original relation. In original relation, we are having 4 attributes. So we will be having 4 columns in this table that we are preparing in the first step. And the rows of the table will represent the splitted relation. Okay. So how we will fill the entries in this table? We can use a special symbol for that. For this example, I have taken star. So we will take R1. R1 has attribute A and B. So we will put for R corresponding to R1, I will put star in A and B. For R2, the attributes are B and C. So in R2, in the second row, for R2 we will put star in B and Cth column of this table, B and C. And for R3, the attributes are C and D. So we will put star in C and D column of R3. So this is the first step for for finding the lossy and lossless decomposition. The matrix is prepared like this. The columns are representing the attributes, rows are representing the splitted relations, and we have put a star corresponding to those columns that are the splitted relations that contains that particular attribute. We have put a star in that column only. In the next step, we will apply functional dependency. So how we will apply functional dependency? It will be dependent on let's put the entries that has come in the first step. So here C and D. For applying functional dependency of original relation, we will check which determinant of the original functional relations contains minimum of 2 star in its column. Here the determinant are A, B and C. So for A, B and C, these we will check B stars for these 3 columns, because A, B and C are the determinant of the original relation. So we will check whether these attributes, the columns of these attributes containing minimum of 2 stars. So for the first attribute, here only 1 star is here, so we will not apply functional dependency for this particular column. In the next column, as B is the determinant, so we will check whether it contains minimum of 2 stars or not. Here we are having first star and second star, so it is having 2 star. So for the next determinant, that is C, it is also having 2 star. So how? So we are having the 2 determinant for which we will apply functional dependency. So how we will apply functional dependency? As in the given functional dependency, A derives B. So we should not consider this case, because for B minimum criteria is not fulfilling. So we will take the next functional dependency, B tends to C. Here B is deriving C, so we will put B tends to C. I have put a star in this column? Because B is deriving C, as B is the determinant and C is dependent on B. So when we will have the B, we can automatically derive C. This is the direct dependency, and C, after deriving C, we can also derive D, because C is deriving D, as B derives C directly, but indirectly we can derive D by having B. So we will put star here also, and the entries for applying the functional dependency for this determinant is completed here. For the next functional dependency, C tends to D, we will check similarly like earlier I have done. Here in the first row it has done, in the second row C tends to D. C is directly deriving D in this given functional dependency. So we will put star here also. So as I have observed, now applying of functional dependency for all determinant has done. Now the last step is to check the number of stars in each column of a rows. If a rows contains a star in all its column, then it is lossless join, otherwise lossy. As we are observing in the second step, for R1 we are having a star for each and every attribute of R. It means R1 row contains a star for each and every of its column. So it is lossless join. As the rule says that if any of at least one of the row is containing all the star in all its column, then it is lossless join, otherwise lossy. So this example is example of a lossless join, as the R1 contains star in all its column. So thanks from my side. I have explained lossy and lossless decomposition, and hoping that you all will be able to understand how we can find lossy and lossless decomposition in a database management system. Thank you very much.